How's it going, everyone? What you're going to see today, at least in the background if you're watching this, is a pretty good round of Grand Bazaar Conquest. I got it a couple of days ago. It was pretty good. The reason I want to show it, and the part you're going to be watching here, is a 30-gun kill streak. Yes, it does feature the M16. Yes, I know some of you will be pissed, but I know at least from the feedback that a lot of you gave me, a lot of you don't really care, and that's cool. I can appreciate if you just watch something for what it is and don't complain about what's being used or the skills being used in it. I do use the M16 in this, and it's a 30-person kill streak. It's a gun streak of 30 kills. It's pretty good. I personally find it entertaining, and I figure some of you will. Some of you won't. That's fine. I get it. But yeah, that's basically it. The rest of the match, I feature some highlights out of it to round out the 12-minute video, because the original video itself was, I think, 36 minutes long. And me personally, for two reasons: A, I wouldn't want to watch a 36-minute long video, and B, I wouldn't have anything to talk about for 30 minutes. I could ramble on and talk about absolutely nothing, which I do in a lot of videos anyway, so it didn't make a difference, but I wouldn't want to rant on for 30 minutes. It's just, I wouldn't have anything to talk about for 30 minutes, so I cut it down, posted the highlights of it, and well, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Basically, all I had to really talk about with this is we're about a week away from the beta of Battlefield 4 coming out, and I had previously talked about a lot of the recon style of guns that were going to be featured on Battlefield 4, so I figure maybe I'll actually, in this video, talk about, well, some of the assault kills that'll be coming in Battlefield, because it's Battlefield 4, because it's an assault-based video here, and from the looks of it, at least again, I did post a sniping one earlier. I did post the video link in that website, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll probably leave a link in the description. I'll leave a link to the description to the website too, if you guys actually do want to see that. But that's for the sniping. But with regard here to the infantry ones, the assault I should say, from the looks, Battlefield 4 actually put a lot of the personal defense weapon style guns in engineer and completely put carbines accessible to pretty much any class, which we'll see how that turns out. But a week from the beta, at least, from what I can see, there's, okay, let me count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 from what I can see here. And they all, at least on the chart, as usual, damage, accuracy, mobility, handling, and range are basically the 5 tiers that they're sorted out into. And for the most part, all of them except for one of them are the exact same in terms of damage output, which means there's balance among them, which is nice. The only one exception to it is the Scar H, which is now an assault weapon. Its damage is significantly higher in terms of the damage scale. So I guess this gun would be like the G3A3 of Battlefield 3, which might actually get me attached to it, so we'll see. A lot of them are familiar guns. The AK-971 is going to return it's got a 900 rate of fire. The AUG A3 is going to return. The FAMAS is going to return. Extremely high fire rate there. The M16A3 is back. The M416 is back. And the SAR-21. I'm not sure if that's a variant of the TAR-21 or copyright change necessitated that. I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into the gun. But the SAR-21 is a gun in this one. It looks like... I'm not sure why anyone would use this gun, to be perfectly honest. It has a very low fire rate of 600. Its handling is extremely high, as you might expect, but it has a 5.56 NATO round, so the rounds, especially if you put a suppressor on it, aren't going to be very damaging. And on top of that, its damage isn't much higher. So you could probably go with the Scar L or the Scar H, learn to master the recoil, and you have a far more damaging gun output with a fire rate that doesn't really take much of a hit. So it's finding that balance for you, because I mean, for the most part, a lot of these guns, if you take your time with them and you stay in medium to longer range, you can definitely be benefited with a slower fire rate but very high damage output. So the Scar H would probably be best for you there. You could probably use the AEK to master, just like how the people did in BF3. If you could learn to master the recoil on that gun, you had a 900 fire rate, which would slaughter in short range, but also be pretty good in long if you could master the recoil. So I guess it's figuring your balance. Do you want to play medium-ish range, ideal medium range, and you have extreme handling and output? Or do you want to go short range raise hell with a high fire rate AEK or FAMAS. That's basically up to you. I personally prefer medium range because I'm in complete control of not only the environment, but I'm not put into snap situations where the first person to react or the first person with the better internet in that particular cause wins. So I can control my engagements, I can control my environment, and that puts me in a much, much better situation to not only succeed against just about anyone out there, but it also lets me push back the other team bit by bit. Is killing 2 or 3 guys. Ideally, you can get a squad wipe if you kill all 4 or 5, I guess, in Battlefield 4. Continually push them back, squad wipe, and you take an objective. You guys can spawn on the next person, hold that objective, and continue on to the next, push back, and ideally lock them out. That's the ideal scenario, as everyone knows. But looking forward here, the optics are basically exactly the same. There might be a little bit difference to them. Like there's a 1 times optic, there's a 2 times optic, an infrared optic. You could put a ballistics 40 on this thing if you want. That'll be fun. There's a hunter 120. You're probably not going to want that. There's a 3.4 times, a 4 times, a reflex. The reflex will probably be mine. If the maps are huge, and I find a lot of the time I'm putting into like 100 meter plus sort of environments, then probably I'll switch to a 3.4 or a 4. But in Battlefield 3, you could get away with a reflex sight pretty much in every single gun encounter style map you were in. So I'll definitely be sticking with the reflex to start. With regard to accessories, there's the iron sights. When you switch to a close targets, you can attach this because you can carry an optic and an accessory. The magnifier is 2 times. You have a rangefinder with this thing if you want. You can have the laser sight, variable zoom, green laser sight. I'm not sure what the difference between a green and a red is other than maybe just color preference. That's about it for that. When it comes to the barrel, there's the compensator, the flash hider, the heavy barrel, which obviously everyone already knows about. There's multiple different types of suppressors. Now, what's interesting is this LS06 suppressor is apparently a Chinese suppressor that increases stealth at the expense of bullet velocity, so I guess it's basically everything you might assume. From what looks like a flash suppressor as the muzzle brake, it controls the kick of the weapon. Oh no, it's the opposite. It controls the kick of the weapon at the expense of accuracy. The PBS4 suppressor here, enemies will stay hidden. You'll stay hidden to enemies if you equip this. So that sounds good, but I'm assuming the caveat in it is that, well, just like every other suppressor, you have to use lower velocity rounds, so you sacrifice damage at range. That would be, I guess, the negative to it, but it doesn't list it here, so we'll see about that. The R2 suppressor again slows down the bullet, silences your weapon by slowing down the bullet and capturing the sound waves. So again, I'll have to see the differences in these suppressors when the beta comes out, but I mean, I am pretty interested. Then there's just the generic suppressor, where equipping your gun with a suppressor makes it so your position is not revealed. So yeah, I'll have to check at the actual differences when it comes to it. And there's all sorts of grips, the angles, the angled grip, the ergo grip, the folding grip, the potato grip. The angled grip basically reduces first shot recoil. The ergo grip is while moving, it reduces your penalty accuracy, or accuracy penalty. Folding grip reduces first shot recoil. Potato grip makes recovering from normal accuracy faster when coming out of a sprint, which will be nice. That one will be pretty nice. The stubby grip prevents makes recovering from normal accuracy faster when coming out of a sprint, so that one's not much different than the vertical grips, as you might expect. Looking at the secondary weapons quick from the looks of things here, there's the 44 Magnum, the 93R, the Compact 45, the CC75, all sorts of these guns here that seem pretty good, but I have a feeling the Magnum and maybe either the 93R, the G18, or the Rex are going to be the primary ones. Doesn't look to me like there's going to be much difference in the secondary weapon usage when it comes to Battlefield 4 versus 3. Next up, of course, is the gadget here, which is interesting. There's, of course, the defibrillator, and then there's a first aid pack, which basically, once picked up by the soldier, it heals him over a short time span. Look directly at a friendly soldier to throw it, or you can throw it on the ground. There's the dart, the frag, the mass, the M26 slug, the dart. Now there's a flash one this time. There's a high explosive. There's the LVG, which you can use to explode around corners. There's the high explosive one. There's the medic bag, of course, which is like your med kit. Just heals slower, I believe. And there's all sorts of different grenades, of course. There's the smoke, the incendiary, the frag, the flashbang. The impact one where it explodes on impact, which is probably going to be used by me a lot. I like those. I don't like having a delay on it. As long as I can throw it accurately to where I want and it explodes on impact, that'd be wonderful for me. And then there's the V40 Mini, which is a small grenade with less explosive force but larger quantity. You're allowed to carry a larger quantity basically for that. And the knives, there's a lot of different knives in here, but at least on this chart, on this particular website, I don't really notice a difference in them other than maybe aesthetics. So we'll see how that goes. But interestingly enough, there is a lot of differences and variants that I imagine you'll probably have to get used to by playing the beta, which is ideally what I'm going to be doing come October. So this is one of the last Battlefield runs you'll see. So that was a quick sum up of some of the Battlefield 4 things for Assault. So I hope you enjoyed this overall video. I hope you enjoyed one of the last Battlefield videos here for Infantry. And there'll probably be a lot more come Battlefield 4. See you guys later.